And it sort of got a bit dark by now, and I wasn't used to the city life. I'd spent my life in the woods, in the fields, along the streams and rivers of Yorkshire. And I saw this Royal Mail man, and I said to him, I said, "How do I get to Victoria Coach Station, sir, please?" He said, "I'm going there." So he delivered me to Victoria Coach Station. By the time I got there, my last coach had gone. Because in those days, things stopped early. That was the world. And so I had to walk the streets of the night. So I'm at the back of Victoria Coach Station. I think to myself, if I walk up this road to the traffic lights and turn right, down that road, turn right again, turn right again, turn right again, I'll just go around in a big circle. So I walk up this road, I turn right, and that road, as I know today, is called Pimlico Road. I walk down Pimlico Road, and I get to the end, at the crossroads. Straight on is Royal Hospital Road, to my left is Chelsea Bridge Road. I turn right up Lower Sloane Street. I walk up Lower Sloane Street, about 100 metres, and I find myself looking through the windows of this very elegant restaurant. So I step back a bit, and I watch them serving the food. I watch them serving the desserts, the petit four, lighting the cigars, pouring the wine. I think, wow, this is beautiful. And I look at the name above the door, and the door, above the door, it says Le Gavroche. This was the restaurant that I wrote to that sent me an application back in French. So I make that decision that I'll walk the streets, and in the morning, before I get my coach back to Yorkshire, I'll knock on the back kitchen door. In the morning at 8 o'clock, I knock on the back kitchen door. Belou, the pastry chef, who does the mise en place means preparation in advance, opens the door, and he tells me and explains to me that Gavroche only does dinner. But he also tells me where the Rue head office is. Down Lower Sloane Street, Chelsea Bridge Road, Queenstown Road. At the top of Queenstown Road, turn left, about 300 metres, you'll see the Rue head office on the right. But let's not forget, I've been travelling now for over 24 hours with no sleep. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. But you know something? That's an irrelevance. So I try and make my way there. I get a bit lost, but by some miracle, I end up going up this side road. And when I get to the top of it, just to my left, I see this grubby office with the letters ROUX. So I go and I knock on the door and open it at the same time because it's an office. And to my amazement, the great Albert Roux is sitting on the desk to my left. And he said, "What can I do for you?" And so I told him my story. I told him that I'd written, "You sent an application back in French and I messed it up and I threw it in the bin." I told him that I went to Chewton Glen for an interview. They'd offered me a job in the pastry. I told him that I'd missed my coach home. I told him that I'd walked the streets all night. And then he said to me, "Where do you work?" I said, "The Box Tree in Ilkley in West Yorkshire." And then he said to me, "The greatest meal I ever had in Britain was at the Box Tree in Ilkley, West Yorkshire. And on the strength of that meal, he employed me." The job was, let's set a date. You come down on the Monday, we'll find you digs for a week. You start work on the Tuesday. That was it. And that's how I ended up in London. But what's interesting, I've realised years later, the translation of the word Le Gavroche, Gavroche, means street urchin. That's what I'd turned myself into. Over those 30 hours, a street urchin. And that was the start of my life in London. I hope I'm not boring you.